Well, Dave, 5 wins in a row. It's your best run of the season so far. It's come at the perfect time. Pleased with that performance tonight?
Pleased with large parts of it. I said to the players before the game, everyone would expect that we'd rock up here and we're 4 wins on the bounce, and there I think 1 win in 15, and you expect it's going to be an easy game. It's never going to be like that. The league's tight. I still maintain that anyone can beat anybody. So you'll normally find, similar as we did last week against Crawley, it's a bit of an arm wrestle. In the first half, I looked at half time at the scores, hadn't been a goal scored in any of the 4 games in our division. There weren't many scored at the end, but that 15-minute spell at the start of the second half decided us the game. We showed moments of quality there that got ourselves in front, and we managed to get through and go away with 3 points. I was disappointed, not disappointed. I think the half an hour after that is the area where we need to get better. So the players, one word: control. Control in possession, control out of possession in terms of our shape. We've done enough to win the game. Yes, you want to go and get that third, because the third one completely ends it, but not at the hest of risking things the other way. They're then throwing, like I say, caution to the wind in terms of subs that they're bringing on and the shape that they're playing. So opportunities will naturally open themselves up if you are or make good decisions in possession of the ball. We didn't do that. We got away with one, and then we scored our own goal, which makes it an uncomfortable last 9 minutes or so, which we need to, like I say, we need to get better at, because as you progress and go forward, there's going to be games, hopefully towards the back end of the season, that have a lot more meaning to them, a lot more on them than what potentially tonight did, and you have to be able to deal with that, I suppose, that pressure in a calm manner.
Is there anything you can read into it? It's a bit like the Tranmere game, wasn't it? Conceding late on the last 5 or 6 minutes, then a little bit nervy. Is there anything you can read into
I just think you don't deal with certain things. Like I said, I think there are areas on the pitch where you can win the game, and it wasn't as if they were playing a certain shape. The game probably needed to be played in our defensive to middle third. If that's where we've got an overload, then play that overload. If that means that they then come out of the shape and press, they might be on to play beyond it. The game got too stretched, which when you're 2-0 up, you don't need the game to become stretched. You need the game to be compact, really, in order to be able to play through. Like I say, you get away with one, Ben makes a save, and then it's in the corner. Will gets his hat-trick, and the fact that it's an own goal, and like I say, it's a little bit edgy. We just need to again get better. We can get better at it. It's like I say, it's a minor criticism. We've got plenty of things that we can get better at, but for me that's probably the big one. And we've shown signs of being able to do it, and that's a positive.
Will Collar, 2 goals. He's now counts his leading goal scorer from midfield. It's something he seems to have added to his game since the autumn. Is it something you've worked on with him? Have you given him advice on how to get forward and contribute more goals?
No. I suppose we've took the shackles off a little bit in terms of the role that he's playing. He's showing, I suppose, the capacity to be able to run forward and make good runs to get into areas, and he can finish. So a culmination of those things has meant that he added goals last year, and he's carried that on this season. I'd say after a slow start, I'm not sure it was how many games before he got his first goal, but if you take them out of it, he's got a pretty decent record from that point onwards.
You brought on 3 subs late on, and one of them, of course, was the new boy. Great to see Jacob Davenport here. I've watched him for 10 minutes. I think he can play. He looks very, very talented. Why have you brought him in? And
he can definitely play. He's played over 50 championship games for Blackburn and Burton, I think, when he was on loan there.
That's right.
Why have we brought him in? Listen, he was in. He was released, or he didn't get his short-term contract that Lincoln extended. He's a Stockport lad. He came in and trained with us, and it became a no-brainer. Like I say, in terms of what he is as a footballer, will take the ball under pressure. He's got a great left foot. Is tenacious, loves the tackle, and it's probably an area where, aside from Crosby in there, we don't have somebody else that naturally can do that role. Joe Grayson can do a job in there, that's why we brought him in. Aki can do a job, but he's doing a great job at right side centre back for us. So it will add, like I say, competition, but it'll certainly add quality as well. And he's, like I say, he's loved his time. He's been with us in terms of in terms of not so much on trial training with us, because he's, like I say, he's a Manchester boy, stop put lad, and to be able to get that done and add his quality at this stage of the season, we hope will be really important. I spoke to the players after the game Saturday, so you look at our squad, like I said, back all of them to get in any other League Two team and squad, but we've got tonight Sarcevic, Madden, not obviously at the game but injured, and we've had to leave Joe Grayson out, we've left Joe Lewis out, we've left Aaron Rowe out. We've got real quality, and we hope that will be significant come the end of the season. Let's say finger crossed it proves to be the case.
Fans were singing "Charlie is our king," and as you came out tonight, they were all there, 3,000 of them on that far side. What was that like this evening? They turned it into a home game.
Yeah, listen, and I think that's. I spoke to the players about that before the game. We had to give them something to go at, because they're not daft. As much as they would all have expected us to come here and win, I think they've maybe become a little bit more accustomed to realising it's not like that, and football's sent to bring you down a peg or two when you think there's only one way to go. Listen, the big thing is to be able to go and celebrate at the end. We don't get it's strange at home. You don't get massive amount of opportunities to do it, because people tend to try and get away. Want to get from the ground quickly, but to have every single one of them in there at the end of the game, be able to go and celebrate with the players, I suppose say thank you for them for their efforts, makes it a real special night for everyone. We now need to, like I say, take that into the weekend, and as one opportunity moves on, the next one presents itself.
Yeah, Pete Wild was here tonight watching Stockport County. After 5 wins in a row, he probably won't want to face you now, will he?
We're in a decent place. 5 wins on a row, from a player's perspective, yeah, it makes you feel on top of the world. Yeah. But I think we're pretty sort of set on knowing what we need to do, and what need to be our bare minimums in terms of, if we can play brilliantly, fantastic. But if we can't, I think we still are a tough team to play against, because we have threats, we have hard-working players that all give everything for each other. So we want to go there and put in a performance. And if we can add another win to that, brilliantly. If we can't, then take something from the game. It's been a brilliant February up to now for us. We've 14 games to go. We keep chalking them off. The more wins we can get quicker will certainly put pressure on the teams that are around us, and that has to be our aim.
What have you made of Barrow? I mean, obviously had a great start. I think they were top 4 in November maybe. They've fallen away a little bit since then, but it's still the nucleus of that side that got them to that position in the first place.
Yeah, I think you look at the majority of teams in this league have had a spell, a poor spell. Ours was right at the start in terms of the first month. They've had a little bit of a sticky patch. Stevenage are currently in a little bit of a sticky patch, if you like. So there's only really Leyton Orient there's probably lasted 2 games. There's only really them that haven't had that. So I suppose the longer that lasts, the more concerning it potentially becomes. Like you say, they've in a position where, even speaking to Pete when he won their first game of the season, their expectations are probably not to finish right up the top, but once you get into those places, optimism, expectation rises. Once you then drop out, it becomes a little bit more disappointing for them, but they're in a good place. They're one of a number of teams that, if they can put a run together, and they went to obviously Bradford last time out and won, if they can put a run together, then there's absolutely no reason why, as I've said previously, if you draw 2 games, you drop 5 places. If you win 2, you probably jump up 7. So they've won a game. They'll be looking to obviously to beat us at the weekend. We've got to go there and control everything that we can, and if we do that, we hope to come back with something.
You've got that momentum now. You are in 4th. You're only a point off the automatic promotion places. Is that the target?
The target's to get out the league. The target has always been to get out the league, and it would be, again, ideally at the start of the season, you want to finish top. Regardless of what it is, we want to give ourselves an opportunity at some point to be able to call ourselves a League One club next year, and we've still got a long way to go in terms of doing that. There's a quarter of the season to go. If you look at it in terms of games, we've got ourselves in a good place from a place where we've been struggling a little bit, but there's still plenty more work to do, but what we have done is we've given ourselves a chance, and like I say, that was where every single player and member of staff at the start of the season wanted to be, including Mark, and he's away skiing, so hopefully the result tonight is enjoying himself, and that's where the club wants to be. That's where we all feel the club deserves to be. It's on an upward track, and long may that continue.
Dave, it's a great win. Well done.
Cheers, John. Thank you.